You're listening to the Full Court Press podcast, hosted by Drew Duncan. Don't you dare touch that dial.
Tonight, we are going to witness the most anticipated match of the world. Are you ready? Are you ready?
This fight is on. It's the real deal. And I know it's the real deal because Floyd Mayweather made the announcement on his Twitter page. And I've been saying that all along. Everybody, well, this is going to happen and when it happens and et cetera, et cetera. And I was just like, look, until Mayweather makes the announcement, I'm not buying it, bro. Because that's how it is with all of his fights. He makes the announcement. Whether he calls the guy out or they sign the contract and they put it all together, he makes the announcement. He puts it out before anybody. It's just how he rolls. When he put it out, that was when I knew. And I had to double check my Twitter because I was looking on there and I was like, oh man, is it the real Mayweather? It's got the blue check next to it. Because when I saw it pop up on my Twitter, I had been doing something. I can't remember what it was. And I just happened to look down at my phone and I saw, I was like, there's no way, man. There's no way in hell. But I guess there is a way in hell. And credit Conor McGregor because everything that man says he is going to do, he does. He's been a champion in 2 different weight classes at the UFC. He said he was going to make this Floyd Mayweather fight happen. He's been jawing with this dude. He's been yelling F Floyd Mayweather. He's been saying this and saying that. Well, now it's time to put up or shut up on August 26th. You know, the first thing that really stood out to me about this whole thing was after I saw that, there was a news feed. It was a Facebook Live news feed, Dana White on his page. He went up live, so I decided to watch it. And this guy commented, I think his name was Cody, and he goes, this is so stupid. And Dana White goes, hey man, if you don't watch it, nobody's making you, bro. Go see an effing movie. I mean, that's the real reality of it. Can everybody, first of all, cease to stop pretending as though you are not going to watch this fight, that you're not going to pay money to go and see this fight at a bar somewhere, that you're not going to go to your buddy's house and watch the fight, that you're not going to host a party with the fight, that you're not going to get drunk as hell or eat some good chips and food and hang out with your friends and family and act. Would everybody just stop pretending like they're not going to see this fight? Because we all are. Regardless of all the things that are going to play into this whole deal, whether it's a charade or not, you're going to watch this fight. That's really all there is to it. You're going to do it. You're going to watch this fight. And you know why you're going to watch it? Because you either want to see a 40-year-old Floyd Mayweather prove that he is the best for a reason and that nobody has any business calling him out regardless of whatever age they may be. Or you're going to watch it because you're hoping like hell that Conor McGregor is just going to KO him. That's really what it is. And I can hear the arguments now. I can hear them all. If Mayweather loses, well, he's 40 years old. He was retired. He was out of the fight game for a long time. McGregor's 28 years old. What did everybody expect? Thing about it is I just got done comparing Michael Jordan and LeBron James. Well, not comparing, but I was talking about them in more of an infuriated manner because it was compared Michael Jordan and, LeBron James both in their 14th season. Well, when they were in their 14th season, Michael Jordan was 40 and LeBron James was 32 when Michael Jordan had been away from the game of basketball for a few years, and it was just completely different scenario. I feel like you can't compare those two guys at that age. Yet here we are with an even slightly younger Conor McGregor who's in the fight prime of his life, taking on a 40-year-old Floyd Mayweather. More than the boxing and mixed martial artist style that goes into this, this is what scares me. And it doesn't scare me strictly because of the age. It scares me because Dana White, who has an inside track, obviously, to Conor McGregor, said something very telling a couple of months ago. He said, look, if McGregor gets this fight, win, lose, or draw, I think that's going to be the end of his career and he may retire. Well, why wouldn't he? Why wouldn't he elect to retire at that moment? He would still be going out on top, the fight of his life, all the money in the world he can handle, and then some. Two-time champion in 2 different weight classes. A belt that he had to vacate. Nobody beat him for it. Why else wouldn't he retire? We all know the payday for this is going to be astronomical. When Dana White was asked earlier on Fox Sports what the payday was looking like for these guys, he simply said, let's just put it this way. Both guys are very happy with the amount of money they're going to be making. This is retirement money. And the age and money scare me because when you look at it and you go, these guys may look and say, I've got a lot to lose here. If I get busted in that ring and something happens to me that I can't come back from, what is this payday worth if I can't be around to enjoy it? But to me, the antithesis of that is this. Competitive nature. You are not an undefeated boxer like Floyd Mayweather is unless you are competitive. And I know everybody talks about how he runs around the ring and, you know, he's just like a scared little chicken. Did anybody really watch the Pacquiao Mayweather fight? I'm just curious if anybody actually watched it, because there were a multitude of times when Pacquiao did put pressure on him and he couldn't even connect. He had him against the ropes. And it just didn't matter. And Mayweather would shake his head and look at him and taunt him and tell him to keep hitting him. And everybody's going, yeah, and they're cheering and they're thinking that Pacquiao's hitting him with these flurries, but he wasn't. He wasn't connecting. Mayweather's defense was solid. It's not always what we want to see, but it is a part of the fight game. Doesn't anybody remember Conor McGregor kind of walking around the ring a little bit, or the octagon, and minding his time in that second fight against Nate Diaz? Now, of course, the difference in that fight was when it was all said and done, Nate Diaz looked like he got into a fight with a tiger and lost. So at least McGregor was being active in the fight. I can understand why you'd be mad at Mayweather, but let's be honest. It is a part of the sweet science. And anybody who knows boxing understands that Mayweather's defensive game does carry him. And I get it. When Mayweather was in a different weight class, we all liked him a little bit better before it became Money Mayweather and he was just Pretty Boy Floyd. Everybody loved him. He was knocking guys out, but the level of competition just wasn't there. At the end of the day, he had to move up in weight class, because there was nothing there for him. I think the fight at 154 is about right. To me, the weight feels right. I would have liked to have seen a different date. I would like to have maybe seen October, just to kind of give these guys a little bit more of an opportunity to train. But then again, you could also say that a 26th day in August does signify that Mayweather, behind closed doors, has probably been training for this fight. He probably entered negotiations a long time ago and was way more serious about it than he really indicated. Now, I understand that there was a video, I think in February or March, it came out where he was like, stop talking. Let's do it. Go ahead. We'll sign the fight, whatever. I'm coming out of retirement, this and that and the third. And then it took him a few months to get the deal done. I'm not completely denying that possibility, but the real reality of it is for a long time, Mayweather was saying, look, dude, I am retired. I'm enjoying retirement. and I'm not coming out for anybody. You know, you look at his wristwatch and, you know, he was clowning Dana saying, well, you know, $10 million. You think that's something to me? Look at his watch. You think 10 million is something to me? Which is the other thing, because Dana White, he said he didn't want this fight. The only reason why I would believe Dana White didn't want this fight was because when McGregor won his second belt, he flat said, look, you're going to have to start defending these things. You're going to do something. You're not just going to walk around with 2 title belts and not defending them. And then, of course, right around that time frame, McGregor started saying, I want to fight Mayweather. I want to fight Mayweather. He had the interview where he was talking about, hey, look, I don't need Mayweather. Mayweather needs me to stay relevant. I'm the big money fight. That's the way that it is. But then Dana White, having said that he didn't want this fight to happen, enters negotiations in public. I think it was on the Colin Cowherd show that he was on, and he said, all right, let's be realistic. If you want to make a deal, I'm the guy. And that was when the $2 million thing came out. So, okay. What else, bro? Look, the point is this. We all probably believe at the end of the day, it's going to be a bad fight. We think it for a lot of reasons. The age gap between the two guys, the completely different styles of fighting that both have been involved in for the mass majority of their careers. And I know it's going to come out, well, McGregor, you know, was an amateur pro, and that's fine. I said for the majority of his career. People are going to say, well, Conor McGregor's a southpaw, and southpaw may give Mayweather fits. Well, they try to say that about Judah. They try to say that about Pacquiao. You know, they've tried to say that about a couple of guys. At the end of the day, there's nobody that can rattle Mayweather's cage. Now, you could say that McGregor is already in the head of Mayweather by pressing him to the point where he said, you know what, to hell with this. I'm coming out of retirement. If you want to do this, bro, let's rock. Let's go to work. If McGregor has any shot, if he's got any shot at all, he's going to have to pull a Roberto Duran. Roberto Duran fought Sugar Ray Leonard the first time and got in his head and made him come to him and made him fight him. Sugar Ray Leonard was a dancer. He was the guy who moved around the ring a lot. He made him come to him by talking about his wife and all kinds of other stuff. The second fight, Sugar Ray was ready for that stuff, and it wasn't going to fly. That was the no Moss fight. I don't think that there's anybody out there that can get in Mayweather's head enough to make him come to him and fight him. I do think that McGregor has an ability to close off the ring better than anybody that we've seen before. I could go into and explain it, but that would be boring. All I'm going to tell you is this. At the end of the day, we are going to see one of two things happen with this fight. We are either going to witness two guys who are so overly competitive that no amount of money and hoopla and hype can prevent them from getting into the ring and having a real damn deal boxing fight. Or we're going to see two guys who feel that they have entirely too many assets to protect now, and they're not willing to risk future and forever damage to their brain and or bodies for the entertainment of so many of us, and just go, you know what, bro? We made our money, kid, and deliver a nice little soft 12-round fight. Let's hope it's not the latter. You've been listening to the official Full Court Press podcast, hosted by myself, Drew Duncan. Don't forget, you can always find me on Twitter. That's at DrewDuncan83. Of course, the official Full Court Press podcast is on Facebook. You can also reach me there at DrewDuncan83 as well. For all you Instagrammers, I am on there at DrewDuncan83. Thank you so much for tuning in.